Hey, what's up, y'all? This is the Will and DeShaun Show, and I'm DeShaun.
And I'm Will.
Awesome. And today we're going to talk about Pose. This is the Pose Review Show, Season 2, Episode 5.
What would Candy do?
What would Candy do? Will, take it away.
So today's episode is basically about Damon and Ricky, who are dealing with their breakup and makeup. Kind of, sort of. They're still kind of have feelings for each other, but they don't want to like grasp it, act on it completely. Mm-hmm. But maybe the episode is about Damon and Ricky auditioning for Madonna's Blonde Ambition tour. You know, at the time when this particular happened, now it's against the two houses are being pit against each other again, but this time in real life. So
what are the two houses?
Blanca's house, which is House of Evangelista, and the House of Wintour, which is Electra's house. And so they're both getting Ricky as well as Damon prepared for their auditions. So they're spending money, they're working out, they're getting them trainers, and just getting them set to be on television. So they both go to the audition. They both make it to the second round. So they didn't get it. So I'm just gonna make this very short. They didn't get it. But they did get another audition for this thing to be a solid gold dancer.
Yeah, solid gold.
So they end up being solid gold dancers, and that's like the real world part of it. Mm-hmm. Now let's get to the ballroom scene on why the episode is titled "What Would Candy Do?" So of course, with the ballroom scene is very competitive. Of course, the houses they compete for balls, for the trophies. So Electra's so devious, and they would win by any cost. Like she hate losing so bad that she would win by any cost. So she was talking to her house members, was of course again the house went to her, and she was telling them, so what would Candy do? And she ended up bringing R.I.P. to Candy, because Candy did pass away in the last episode. Candy was murdered. One of them still. God still touches me and still affects me to today, because Candy was one of my favorite characters of the show. So she brings out Candy's hammer, and if those who watch Pose know that Candy's notorious for busting out her hammer. So Candy,
what would she do?
She would fight. Candy likes to fight, and she'll bust that hammer. She'll bring her hammer out. So when she want to fight you at the ball, she'll bring her hammer out. So, and it was known that Candy and Lulu was very notorious doing stuff to other competitors in the ball to win a category. So Electra wanted one of the house members to use Candy's hammer to hit Damon in the foot with, so that Ricky can win not only the category, but to beat Damon in real life at the Madonna audition. And so one of the house members went to told Poppy and Angel, and they went and got they went and got Blanca and told Blanca what was happening. And then Blanca approached Electra about it. And of course, through their banter, of course, Electra loves to put Blanca down. But Blanca was basically saying, hey, this is an opportunity for not just ballroom, but for us in general. Just for you as well as for me. Just for the ballroom community. And why don't sabotage one for the other? And when they both can make a great a great thing for ballroom in general. And so of course Electra still having a soft spot for Blanca because it's her daughter, so she gave her Candy's hammer. And like I said, basically that was it in a nutshell of what the episode was. This episode really didn't have like a huge impact, but in true life of the whole Madonna thing, there was a couple of members from the ballroom scene to actually make it to her tour. So that's where they get this episode from.
Right, and Madonna's Vogue is basically based off of the ballroom scene, correct?
Absolutely.
The whole Vogue era, the Vogue dance, the Vogue video.
It's everything from the ballroom scene. So at this point, when the Vogue thing came out in the ballroom scene, through this particular TV show, I don't know if it was like that in real life. Again, I wasn't in the ballroom scene. I'm not in the ballroom scene. I was in the ballroom scene in the 90s, so I don't know if that was actual fact. But that Madonna Vogue really had put the ballroom scene in that particular time on the map. That was an underground dance, and they felt like they were going to make it through Madonna's Vogue video, Vogue song.
Do you think they put too much into Madonna?
No, I don't feel like they put too much into Madonna. I feel like they felt like it was finally their opportunity to be seen in the mainstream.
Okay.
Again, ballroom culture has always been an underground scene. There have been different things where they now are, even now with the show Pose, brings them definitely to another back into the mainstream.
Because what I was thinking when I was watching the show, I was like, okay, it would be great if they got into the mainstream with being dancers in Madonna's, video. But I wouldn't look at them and say that they're anything different from any other dancers.
The only thing that makes them different was they are authentic from the ballroom scene.
Right. But could the people who don't know much about the ballroom scene to tell or say that, okay, those two are different? I feel like they were just regular guy dancers.
Yes, because again, of course, with Ricky, Damon was approached by the white lady when he was teaching the Vogue classes. Yeah, they just see, because again, it was just a popular thing.
Right.
Outside of ballroom, voguing had become a popular thing. And anybody who can do voguing, it was looking for dancers for her tour. So yeah, it didn't necessarily, they didn't look at them like, oh, they too special because they're from the ball scene, because when they were auditioning, or people that probably auditioned in real life, I guess they didn't present, oh, I'm from the ball scene, so this is what we do.
Right.
They just were dancers who were auditioning.
Right.
But what made the significance of it that someone actually from ball culture had an impact or became a mainstream dancer for Madonna in real life.
Okay.
As well as they had the opportunity that they probably would never been given in any other space during that time on the show.
Okay. So also in there's like a slight love story between the two dancers that's kind of trying to rekindle a little bit.
Yes. Ricky and Damon used to date first season. They broke up. Damon went on tour. No, I'm sorry. Ricky went on tour with Al B. Shore and cheated on Damon with another dancer on the Al B. Shore tour. And the boy came up as being a messy gay and told him that. He said, I had your boyfriend. I had your man. I got him. So he did one of those situations. You may have had a husband, but I got him all the time,
He's mine.
He's mine. Very dead. So they're dealing with the breakup of it and the fact that they still are in love with each other. Even though that Ricky's with another guy, which he ended up breaking up with, Damon is still his, I guess we'll see, first love, or the person he's still in love with. But at the end of the episode, the fact that Damon was like, you know what, Ricky, let's just be friends. Yes, they still have feelings for each other, but it was better for him, to say, hey, let's be friends. And that's a life lesson for a lot of people and a lot of gay men in general.
Why do you think that is like a life lesson? To be friends with someone who you really love and when you want to be...
Because sometimes it doesn't work out.
Right. And
we have seen this firsthand, and also through other people, that sometimes going back to a situation, it don't work. Right. A lot of times we in love with that person.
Y'all are better as friends.
And absolutely. And we try to give it a second chance, and things still don't work out. And then it end up hurting even more.
Right.
And there are people that I feel like that I have dated that I could give a second chance to, because based on our situation on how we broke up or whatever, or we just stopped talking based on that, because I don't feel like we had enough time to actually build a solid kind of relationship. Right. So we could probably give it again. But in this case, where I've been in a relationship with this person and it may not have ended better, but in their case, they cheated. So in the case where if somebody had cheated on me, it's like, I'm a little bit still kind of hurt and I'm not over it yet, so let's not go there yet. Let's just rebuild and just start off as friends.
Right.
That's how I feel about that situation. That's why I say it's kind of a life lesson in that. Sometimes you don't just have to go back to somebody because you love them or y'all still have chemistry.
Just wish them well.
Absolutely.
Right.
Because even in the show, when they went to audition for the Solid Gold Dancer, Damon was like, okay, I'll do it, but if you get both of us. He still was looking out for Ricky, even though him and Ricky was, together. And that's great as as a friendship, to still have compassion enough to say, hey, if you want me, you take him too.
Right.
But even though the guy he wanted both of them anyway.
I love how in this show they were showing how Electra was just so like, it's almost like they were contrasting without contrasting the difference between Electra and Blanca. Their situation, their living situation. Electra was very fabulous, very high end Manhattan. Blanca was very not fabulous. And they kept,
again, that's what Blanca. That's what Electra comes from. So she kind of basically Blanca. Funny thing, not Blanca. I'm sorry, Electra. From people who've been following the show from the first season, Electra lived this high, fabulous life. She lived. That's what she was accustomed to, and she had a moment in the beginning of the second season. She actually came to herself. She said, "You know what? Just because I was down, let me get back to who I really am." She had lost herself. Oh my God, I'm glad we're speaking on this situation because, again, life lessons. Again, sometimes we can all be living on high on the hall and get knocked all the way down and lose ourselves and forget who we are and forget the value that we have. Electra had forgotten the value that we had. Electra had this white guy who was financing her. She was, her sugar daddy. She was tricking. He wasn't even a sugar daddy because he wasn't even that old. But she had a man that was taking care of her, a high-profile man who was taking care of her. And then she lost it all because she wanted to get her sex change surgery. She wanted to become a full woman. And once she did that, she lost it all. Electra literally was homeless, sleeping on a bench.
How did she lose it?
He kicked her out.
Why did he kick her out?
Because he told her that
he didn't want that.
He didn't want her to get the surgery, to get the transitional surgery. But she wanted it for her own sake. And sometimes you have to, those are the big sacrifices that you take for yourself. Sometimes you have to do what you want to do, even if it costs at all costs.
Right.
Sometimes you do. And that, again, a life lesson.
How did she bounce back?
Funny thing with Blanca. Blanca took her in because she was her mother. She gave Blanca a place to stay when she first started in the ball. And she became Blanca's mom, and she didn't have no place to stay. She was a house mother to her. Then Blanca became a house mother to her. Blanca helped her go back into society. She helped her go get a job at this restaurant where she became a host. She started getting a host. Of course, now we know that in the second season, she also was a dominatrix. So she was getting money. So that's what she rebuilt herself. And again, sometimes, as the Fantasia song says, sometimes you got to lose to win again. Okay. And that's a life lesson to all of us, guys. Don't get so discouraged that, sometimes we feel like we lost it all because you can't rebuild.
Right.
Like, I literally just got that revelation that really, touched myself because, again, to put my personal story in, and I know this lady, I've been telling all my personal business, but I lost my job at the beginning of the year. I was laid off from my job, and I felt I didn't lose anything, thank God, but I still lost a lot of income.
Right.
And I'm still now to the point that I'm rebuilding back to the Willie that I once was.
Nothing lasts forever.
Absolutely, especially anything that's tangible, you would definitely lose and gain again.
Right, yeah, there's always an up.
Absolutely. You can only hit rock bottom so much. Once you're at the bottom, there's nowhere else to go but up.
Right.
You can't keep going under.
That's a great lesson in that story. And I think everyone has been through something where they felt like, oh my God, everything is just coming down. I don't know what I'm going to do, but, the clouds will move around and the sun will come out.
The sun comes out.
And
the sun will come out.
Tomorrow. Exactly. So I think that's a beautiful story. I do. But other than that, I feel like we kind of reviewed the show pretty well.
Absolutely.
Will, do you have anything else you want to say?
Continue to watch Pose. We need to continue, even though it did get renewed for a third season, and it did that on the first season of the second season. The first episode, they were announced that they were getting a third season. We'll just continue to support the show. Continue to talk about it. Continue to look at the gay people in your real life and support them. These are fictional tales that's parallel to what goes on in real life. There are gay people who are out here trying to make it. Not just the ballroom culture, but us as general. Support our podcast. Share it. Subscribe. Review it. Give us how you feel, the good and the bad. I can take it. Again, just support. Again, I gotta tell anybody, start from first season if you've never seen the show and work your way up, and you will love it. Also, if you want, go and do some research. One thing I do like about Pose, especially this particular season, that at the end of the season they put up these quotes, and they put up quotes from like different people in the community, either from ball community or a real life community. Because even in real life community, like this last one, they did a quote by Ivan Ailey. I don't know it. I can't quote it verbatim, but they put up a quote by him. And again, of course, because the episode was based on like dancing and stuff like that. So again, Pose is a tremendously magnificent show. The writing is excellent. The direction is excellent. Thank you to everybody who work at Pose. Again, guys, just support the people. Support your local gay community as well.
Right. And on that note, one last thing I can say is I can appreciate, even though I'm not a dancer, I can appreciate the almost like a tribute to the dance community that
as well. Yeah.
This episode, dance is beautiful. Dance is art. Dancers are artists, and I sometimes feel like because dancers aren't really made superstars like other avenues of art are. So I can appreciate.
It always feel like a background thing, right?
Exactly.
It's
Dancing
like
is very background, very, very, very. So I can appreciate the tribute that it gave to the dance community. But on that note, thank you so much for listening. Please subscribe. Please comment whether you agree or disagree. Say what you got to say, and we'll respond also. But thank you so much. Share. And this is the Will and DeShaun Show. Y'all be blessed.
Bye, y'all.